Hey, what is up you guys, Upixeled here, and welcome to a new speed build video on the channel. So today we are working on a big, abandoned, disgusting, decrepit looking mental asylum. The reason I decided to build this is because I needed a place for Vlad to live, and I wanted to build something on the lot where he usually lives, but I honestly did not want to build a big vampire mansion. I just did not have the energy to do that. But apparently, I had the energy to build a giant, disgusting mental asylum. I don't know. I feel like when you work on something that's supposed to look nice, it takes a lot more work than something that's supposed to look horrible. Even though it took me a while to finish this build. I don't know if you guys can notice, but this video is sped up more than usual. Like, it's sped up a lot. And the reason is because if I speed it up to the normal speed in which I speed it at, this video would be, I think, 40 minutes long. And I don't want to have you guys sitting here for 40 minutes. So I decided to, like, speed it up a little bit more. And I got it down to 9 minutes, which I hope you guys don't mind. But anyways, this build took me like 3 days to complete. It took me a lot longer than I thought. I honestly thought that building an abandoned building would not take that long. But it did. It did. I think the most time-consuming part of this build was the walls. I wanted this building to obviously look disgusting and as if it's been abandoned for a couple of years, so I wanted the walls to look disgusting. So I used a bunch of those cool wall decals that make it look like the walls have stains on them, or cracks, or holes, and I just went crazy. I put so many wall decals in this build. It's kind of insane. I also put cracks and scratches and holes on the floor everywhere. I wanted this to look absolutely disgusting, and it took me a while. It took me a while because I didn't want to put too many of the same decals right next to each other because I didn't want it to look repetitive. I wanted it to look kind of natural. So it took me a while, and it was something. It was definitely something. And also, looking through all of the furniture and, choosing things that look like they've been broken down by years of abandonment. This build was definitely very time consuming. More time consuming than I thought. Like I mentioned earlier, I was going to build Vlad a mansion, but then I decided against that because I thought that that would take too much time. And then this ended up taking a very long time as well. Like, I worked on it for 3 days. So it was a pretty big project. But I had a lot of fun. I honestly had a lot of fun. This is something that I've never done before. I don't think I've ever purposefully built a giant, disgusting building. So this was a lot of fun, using new items that I've never used before, using items in ways that I've never used them before. This was definitely a lot of fun. Now, if you're looking at this build and you're wondering to yourself, hey, where does Vlad live in this build? He actually has a secret underground kind of apartment, so he basically lives in the basement of this abandoned asylum. Oh, by the way, I'm so excited because I just have to do one more vampire build, and I'm completely done with the vampire world, and I never have to build here again. For those who don't know, I'm currently working on my Let's Play save, and on my Let's Play save, I want to build something or renovate something in every single lot, in every single world in The Sims 4. I want my entire Let's Play save to be filled with builds that I personally worked on. And it's taking its time, it's a lot of worlds, it's a lot of builds. So obviously, it's been a while since I've been working on it. But yeah, a couple of months ago, I started working on the vampires world, and now I only have to work on one more vampire build, and I'm done. I am done, and I'm so excited, and I'm so happy. Because I'll be honest, I don't love the vampires world, and I really don't love the whole vampire aesthetic, because I just like building, bright, colorful builds, and, that's totally not the vampire aesthetic. So I have to build, dark builds, dark Victorians, and, I love those builds that I've done for the vampire world. I love this build too, but I'm kind of ready to leave the vampire world and work on something else. Like right now I'm currently also working on Delso Valley, and I think I have 4 more builds to do in Delso Valley, and then I'm completely done with that world. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do, but I've been having a lot of fun building in The Sims 4 lately. But yeah, I'm so excited to be almost done with the vampire world. I don't know what I'm gonna build in that last lot. I don't think I want to build another vampire home, but I don't know what to build there. I was thinking, oh, I should build a vampire park, but the thing is, the vampires world, it's basically a giant park. Like if you look at the center of the world, it's just a park. So it would be stupid to build another park right there. Y'all, I don't know. The point is, I'm so excited to be done with what is this world called again? Oh, I forgot the name of the vampire world. Anyways, the point is, I'm almost done with it and I'm super happy. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas as to what I could build on that last vampire lot, do let me know. I really don't want to work on another vampire home. I don't really feel like doing that. It could be a community lot, not a bar though, because there's already a bar across from that lot. So yeah, I don't know what to build there. I was considering maybe a library. Maybe it could be like a vampire lore library. You know, you could go there and learn more about vampires, but why would vampires living in the vampire world go to a library to learn more about vampires? It makes no sense. So, I don't know, guys. Maybe I will build a vampire home there, but I just don't want to. I don't want to. I'm just so over the vampire world and building dark builds. I want to go back to building bright builds. So yeah, this is why it's taken me months to work on 5 lots, because I think the vampire world only has 5 lots in total, and it's taking me months to complete because I just don't like building here. So I've just been taking my sweet time. So far in the vampire world, I've built 2 vampire Victorian homes. I built a vampire bar that looks like an old school church, and of course, I built this, what you're watching right now, a giant abandoned mental hospital. So yeah, I have to do one more build and I'm done with this world, but I really don't want to work on it anymore. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over this world. Even though I am having a lot of fun with my vampires let's play, which by the way, if you're not watching, you definitely should. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with my vampires let's play, but I'm not having fun building here. So, it's not great. It's not great. I just have to do one more thing. One more thing and I could wipe my hands clean from the vampire world. It's just one more thing, but I don't know what that one more thing is. And yeah, I'm kind of sad now because I know I have to build something there. Oh, and by the way, I tried my best to hopefully not make this build offensive. And the reason I say that is because I know a while ago, some simmers were doing something called the Asylum Challenge or something like that. And I know for a fact that it offended some people because it almost seemed like they were making light of mental issues and stuff like that. That is not what I'm doing here. I just thought that it would be a cool thing to build. I know that, mental hospitals or mental asylums, whatever you want to call them, from back in the day were not a good place to be at. They mistreated people. It was terrible all around. I'm not trying to make light of that. I just wanted to build something that I thought looked cool. I just wanted to put that out there because, yeah, a lot of these hospitals back in the day were terrible, like really bad. And I did try to build something that kind of looked like something you would see in the 1930s, around that era. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, I tried my best to not make this build offensive or anything like that, because that's definitely not my intention. I just wanted to build something that looks cool. Also, I know that in a lot of abandoned buildings, there's graffiti everywhere, and I thought of adding that here, but also Vlad is living in the basement, so I feel like if any teenagers tried breaking in to graffiti up the place, he would probably scare them off. Okay, so it's actually later in the day. I recorded the first half of this voiceover earlier, and as you can see, we just hit the 9-minute mark, which is how long I told you guys this video was going to be. And clearly, it's not. It's 18 minutes long. It was 9 minutes long because I sped up the video so much that it made the video short, but it also kind of made the video disorienting to watch. So I decided to come back and like slow it down slightly. So instead of being 40 minutes long, it's now 18 minutes long, but I think that's fine. At least you could actually watch the video. Ugh, yikes. I literally watched over my footage and it was so fast. You could not see what I was doing. It was so disorienting. I had to come back, record a longer voiceover. It was so disorienting. It was bad. Um, but you know what? At least I was able to slow it down a little bit. So that's good. But since we're going to be here for a lot longer than I thought, why don't we talk about the build for a bit? So I decided to put this barbed wire fence around the building because I would imagine that if this is an old abandoned mental hospital, the city, the state, whoever owns it would probably condemn it and they would probably put a fence around it to keep people out and to keep people from getting hurt. So I decided to put this fence around it. But as you can see, there's a giant hole in the fence right in front of the building because I feel like fences never really keep people out, especially if they want to explore an old abandoned building. Fences never keep people out. Like in my city, there's actually an old abandoned mental hospital that's been closed for decades. Like it's been abandoned for quite some time now, and people actually break in all the time to like do some urban exploring, take some cool photos, just do some regular old exploring. And that building isn't actually surrounded by fences because it's a skyscraper. So pretty much all they did was block all of the doors and windows on the first floor with like these metal bars. But people still find a way in, which is kind of crazy because like the city or whoever owns that building, I'm pretty sure it's the city, they blocked all of the windows and front doors and back doors and side doors and everything with giant metal bars and metal plates, and people still find a way in, which is crazy. I have a friend who's actually gone into that old mental asylum like 3 or 4 times, and she always invites me. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm too scared to go. And no, I'm not afraid to go because it's an old abandoned building. I don't really care about that. I'm also not scared of ghosts, so it's not that either. It's that I always fear that someone with malicious intentions might be in the building. Because imagine going to an old abandoned building with like 20 floors, and like, let's say I'm on floor 15 and I get attacked by a random person who was also breaking into the building. That sounds scary. That sounds scary. Being attacked by a random stranger in an old abandoned building? No, thank you. So I've always told her that I don't want to go. She's gone a couple of times because she's a photographer, so she goes in there, she takes really cool pictures, especially if you go all the way up to the 20th floor, there's roof access. So you could get really cool photos of the city. So she's done that a couple of times, but I've never gone inside. There was this one time where she did invite me to go, and I really did not want to go. I did not want to go. It was like 3 in the morning. I did not want to go. But another friend of ours was with us, and I kind of felt pressured to go. So I said, you know what, screw it, let's go. Let's go into that old abandoned building at 3 in the morning. Let's just do it. Let's just go. But thankfully, once we got there, it seemed like security or whoever's in charge of the building had just recently put in new metal plates to block all the doors and windows. So there was literally no way inside. And I pretended to be upset, but I wasn't. I wasn't. I was so happy that we could actually not go into that building. Whew, I was so happy because I did not want to go inside. I did not want to go inside. It's just, I get scared. I'm terrified of being attacked by a random stranger in an abandoned building. That's just terrifying. I honestly feel like the only way I would ever go into that old abandoned mental hospital is if I'm in a group of like 5 to 6 people because there's strength in numbers. So I think I would definitely go with 5 to 6 people because I don't think anybody would be stupid enough to attack a group of 5 to 6 people. So that's the only way I would go because if it's just me and my friend, just me, her. Ooh, I don't know if you guys heard that. My computer just made a noise. If it's just me, her, and our expensive camera equipment, that sounds like disaster waiting to happen, so I'm good. I'm good. But like a large group, maybe 5, 6 people, I would definitely go. But if it's just me and her, I'm good. And I'm not a total wuss. I have gone into abandoned places before. The city I live in used to have underground subway tunnels back in the 1950s that used to be used, obviously, for the subway trains. But a couple of years ago, I think in the 70s, 80s, one of those, I don't know, they were shut down. The point is, those subway tunnels were shut down years and years and years ago, I think before I was even born. And so now there's just abandoned subway tunnels underground in my city. And obviously, since it's subway tunnels, there's no real way for them to block all of the entrances, I don't think. So they're easily accessible. So me, my friend, and her boyfriend, we went into those tunnels. And it was really, really creepy because we went down there at 1 in the morning. It was extremely, extremely dark. The only thing we had in our hands were flashlights. She had a taser, and I had pepper spray. That's all we had. And the tunnels were super, super dark. Like, honestly, you could not see in front of you if you did not have your flashlight. It was so dark down there. And the air was so dry and cold. It felt so creepy down there. But the subway tunnels were pretty large, so you could see if anyone tried sneaking up on you. So I felt pretty safe because I couldn't see anyone. It was just us. But there was a lot of tents down there. I think homeless people maybe live down there. But they were empty. I did look into one of the tents and there was like family photos of like a family there. It was kind of sad. But it was kind of creepy, but kind of cool. We only stayed down there for maybe 20 minutes and then we left. But yeah, see, I'm not a total wuss. I went into an old abandoned subway tunnel, so see? I just don't really want to go into that old abandoned mental hospital because I just imagine someone attacking me for some weird reason. Maybe I need to stop watching horror movies. Part of me really wants to go back to those tunnels though and actually thoroughly explore. Because when we went, we stayed by the entrance. I think the deepest we went was maybe, I don't know, 200 feet. That's pretty much it. We didn't really go deep into those tunnels, and those tunnels go on for miles. So we could go really, really, really deep, but we didn't do that. I definitely want to go back and actually explore those tunnels, preferably during the day, even though I don't think sunlight is going to help us out much because those tunnels are dark. But you know, I kind of would love to go during the day and explore a little bit. I've seen people on Instagram who actually explore those tunnels and they've gone very, very deep down in the tunnels. And I want to do that so badly, but I'm also kind of scared, but also kind of really want to do it because I think it would be kind of cool. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to go back to those tunnels. Maybe I could talk my friends into doing it, but my friend recently became a mother, so maybe she wouldn't want to risk things like that. I don't know. Maybe we could go. Anyways, here we are at the end of the speed build. I feel like we went through this pretty quickly, mainly because I actually had something to talk about. I feel like sometimes I struggle to find a conversation topic for these voiceovers, but today it actually went pretty smoothly. But yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.